All right, so we mentioned Marvel. Jess, somebody sent us the link. Jess, I think you sent us the link. Willem Defoe is rumored.
Oh, I did. Rumored,
I followed up with it today because I wanted to see if it was confirmed or not, but it's still not confirmed. But Willem Dafoe is apparently spotted on set for the new Spider-Man, and he would go along with Jamie Foxx.
But I have a question.
Our boy Alfred Molina. Molina?
Yes, Molina. I have a question.
What's up?
Didn't he die?
Yes.
So
that's why everyone is confused. But so did Alfred Molina.
But I don't think they actually showed Doc Ock dying though in the Spider-Mans.
He sacrifices himself to save the city at the end of it.
Yeah, but did they actually show him dying? Like the whole thing with the Green Goblin was like a whole plot point. That's why his son became the Green Goblin.
Franco,
but like
Goblin. Yeah. I think they probably wanted James Franco, but with all the shit, they're like, oh, I guess narratively reboot the Green Goblin.
I want to know how they're gonna like play it off. Like, oh, his son died, so he came back to life or some stupid shit.
They could just do what they did in the last Spider-Man, which they showed Jameson, JJ what is it?
J. Jonah Jameson.
What did I say?
JJ Jameson.
What is it? J. Jameson?
J. Jonah Jameson.
Eric's just giving him nicknames.
They showed
Triple J.
They showed Triple J. They showed Triple J at the end of the movie, but it was like it was a throwaway thing. And Marvel also did the same thing with not Silver Surfer. Is it Silver Surfer?
Silver Surfer.
Depends on who you're talking about.
You know who I'm talking about, though.
Well, I don't know what movie. You've just said the same thing that Marvel did with
WandaVision, when they pretended that the same actor that played her brother in previous films was the same character, but he actually wasn't. It was like a very confusing thing. But that's like Marvel does that. Marvel did that with Iron Man.
Marvel's under no obligation to follow the canon of the previous Spider-Man.
No, I understand. What I'm saying is Marvel has used actors that have played other characters to make you think that it's something that it's not. They did it with Iron Man 2 or 3, I believe. I think 3 with the Mandarin.
Yes.
It made you think he was the Mandarin, but he wasn't the Mandarin after you watched a 2-hour movie, and everyone was like, what the fuck was that?
I think they did that specifically because it was like it tested poorly, but they already filmed the damn thing. Like, oh, let's
like, oopsies.
Here's a reshoot to make it feel like, oh, he's actually that guy. Sorry. Like,
whoops. Yeah, and so they did the same thing with Evan Peters. That's what I was trying to say. Evan Peters, who played WandaVision's brother in the show, like not in the show that we were watching, but the show that's inside of the show. He played the brother, and it was really just to fuck with the audience. He wasn't actually the character that everyone thought he was playing. So if they do that with Jamie Foxx and Alfred Molina and Willem Dafoe, are people going to be fucking pissed? Or
yes,
I think it depends on how they do it. Because honestly, no one's like truly attached to Jamie Foxx's character from the
no, for sure.
No, but Willem Dafoe,
yeah,
and Alfred Molina, I think people would be kind of pissed.
Willem Dafoe and Alfred Molina, I think, are so goddamn talented that if they had a good script, they can make any goddamn thing work.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I think somebody like me, I don't know about like people who are actually fans of it, but like, those first 2 Spider-Man movies, those are my top superhero movies ever. I loved those movies. So like, I think if I watched it and saw those 2 guys as different people, I would be a little ticked off. Like, I'd be like, this is weird.
I'd be pretty upset. And I think because there's so much hype behind possibly having Toby in it to fuck with everybody with those characters, and then to not have Toby in it, or to even have Toby in it after you, like, what do you do if Toby's in it? Is he Spider-Man, or is he just the dude walking in the background? Like, how stupid do we get here?
Maybe this is just going to be Into the Spider-Verse, but instead of Miles Morales,
That would be amazing.
Getting a fucking white Spider-Man.
That I don't know.
But white is what might be setting up for.
Wait, what?
But like, because this has to be, if they're going to play the same characters, it has to be a multiverse. It absolutely has to be.
I hope it is. Honest, I'm not into it, but I'd be into it if it was a multiverse. Like next Spider-Man movie is something I want to see.
But this already happened with Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, that's the only issue is literally just like they literally did this in the cartoon version and everybody loved it.
And it was praised and hailed, but it starred Miles Morales, a black Latin kid who ends up being Spider-Man. It's a whole learning experience for him. And instead, the lead's definitely still Tom Holland, the whitest kid I can imagine.
Yeah.
So if we're doing this movie, but live action with, it's kind of whitewashing away a bunch of cool shit that happened.
I don't think they would do that, to be honest.
Yeah.
But also,
don't know how you make a better multiverse movie than that. Because I saw that I went to see it in theaters and I loved it.
Yeah, I can only imagine watching that on the big screen.
It was great.
Did you watch it on like 3D or anything like that, or it was just? I don't think it needed it.
I don't know if we actually, it wasn't that much more expensive, so we might have actually done it. But it came out quite like 3 years ago now.
Mm-hmm. I don't even know if they released it in 3D. I'm just assuming they did.
It could have been, and I think I'm typically the one to shell out the extra $3-4 for that, because sometimes when they do.
When it's meant for it.
Yeah, like it wasn't a great movie, but it was beautiful to look at of Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland. And I saw that in IMAX 3D.
Mm-hmm. And it was insane.
Yeah, it wasn't a great narrative movie, but it was gorgeous. Like, it was beautiful, and not a lot of shit even really, because it wasn't 3D like, oh my God, it's coming at you. It was cool 3D where it added layers to it almost added like texture to the scene.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So it wasn't like pop-up bullshit. It was just like the things, they helped it make things pop where they needed to.
Or just added to the actual film itself.
Yeah. So stunning visuals, mediocre plot, but overall, like I don't regret it.
Go for it. Sorry. I was just thinking about something because you said it, because you mentioned texture. Do you remember when Jackass did their 3D movie and the shit came at you at the end of the fucking thing?
I didn't see Jackass 3D.
No, but you know how when you watch a 3D movie on the TV, you can tell what the 3D part is?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it threw shit at you at the end. It made no sense. But you said texture, and I instantly thought of that 3D moment. I was like, oh.
We're at our moment where we should be considering wrapping up soon.
Okay. Just to finish this off, if we do multiverse, and to avoid possibly whitewashing the whole idea, do we finally introduce Miles Morales in person? Because his uncle was already introduced in the first one?
Yeah. Donald Glover played him in the first one.
The first one. So do we have Donald Glover and his nephew just like walking down the street type of thing? Just like a nod, like, yo, that's going to be the kid? Because, I mean, there's a bunch of options that people already love. What if it's a
multiverse and Miles Morales is in it, but Tom Holland is his mentor?
I think that's probably where it would eventually head anyway, because Tom Holland is always being mentored by characters, and now that would be the perfect opportunity for him to mentor
to do Miles Morales in this universe, since they're up to doing shows now. I think they'd probably do it in shows and they would have Tom Holland still, but he wouldn't be as like ever present as like a whole Spider-Man movie
in the show.
Yeah, in the show.
See. No, that makes sense because he's so young. They can't like.
Adventures of Spider-Man show where the actors kind of like growing up at the same time.
Tom
Holland come into it occasionally as like help and guidance and stuff, and this movie is what sets him up to be a person who can actually offer that.
And I feel like, and he's such a young kid. There's so many that you can make with Tom Holland that I feel like that might be the best way to go, is what you're saying.
I don't think he's like young. He's like
young.
Our age.
He's a high school.
I think he's isn't he a lot younger than us though?
I thought he was like 26.
I mean, that's still pretty young. How old was Toby when he was doing the shit?
I think like 26.
Oh damn, I don't fucking know. You
Because
lost me.
they did one movie of high school Toby and then 2 movies of college Toby, of like working and then college Toby.
Are we talking about the like in real life or in the show? I mean, the movie.
Well, I'm saying he looks. I mean, at minimum, he looked older than Tom. I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
Holland's Spider-Man is younger than Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
Gotcha. Okay.
For sure.
His age harder to gauge because I could buy that Tom Holland is 26. He also just has like a baby face.
I could buy Tom Holland is like 16. I'm gonna find out just out of curiosity.
That's why I think that's why they got him. They wanted a high school Spider-Man.
25.
Yeah, so he's just a really young looking dude.
Yeah.
He's Ariana Grande of dudes.
Hold for Everything podcast.